Number 11. Hmm. Action impact. Before I get started, first off, I just want to say I do not have it all figured out, and that's not what these videos are about. Please, if you're watching these, don't take them at face value. And um, this is the best way for me to just throw my thoughts out into the universe, and maybe we can figure it out together. So, take my opinion with a grain of salt, but um, we're just going to go from there. So, today's topic is happiness. Um, I noticed how much I say on these, and so I'm going to try to regulate that this time, but it's going to be tough. So, the key to happiness. I don't have that for you. Surprise! Your key is a little different than mine. It's got to be. We're not in the same place right now, so to think that maybe what works for me will work for you is that's up for interpretation. But when I look at our key to happiness being a little bit different, I think it has a lot of similar values, maybe, and maybe if you boil it down, there's a lot that's the same. Um, when it comes to happiness, obviously there's going to be times where you're not going to be there. You're not going to be completely fulfilled or content in where you're at and happy. Um, and finding happiness in those moments is really important. And the way to do that is not liking where you're at, and just embrace that, but kind of know where you're going. Kind of know where the bar is set and what you're going to do to get there is definitely a good start in your happiness. And when you set that bar, you're going to notice the things that stack up are the things that you need to be thankful for. I'm thankful for a lot, and I've always been that way, but um, I'm more thankful than ever now. I'll tell you that. And it started with not liking where I was at, but kind of knowing where I was going. And one other statement that you can build on that I think would be, it's an interesting dynamic, but I think it will work is, what I have doesn't suck as bad as I thought. That automatically puts you into a mindset of finding the good out of the scenario. And if you've chimed into any of these videos, that's probably one of the root things is finding the good out of each scenario. And when I look at happiness, it confuses me a little bit because there's this thing called the search for happiness, and that's scary. um, I said it again, but yeah, I think the search for happiness is where the thief wants you to be, because he's just sitting there with his fingers crossed, hoping that you'll find temporary happiness in something that can consume your life and take you down a bad path. I think a lot of times if you're searching for happiness, you're willing to cling on to whatever will give you just a little bit of that fulfillment. And just be comfortable in what you have first and know what you're building on in order to be happy, versus just getting to a point where you're saying, I'm not happy, let me go try to find happiness. That's really scary if you don't know where you're at and what bar you're at, and where you're going to head next. And um, I think if you're going to search for happiness and aggressively do that, there's only one thing that you can look for, and that's a relationship with God. That's going to be the one thing that, will always pour into you, and will always be there for you. And um, they'll always have the answer, even if the answer's So something that I really keep hearing, um, I've seen a lot. Dang it, keep saying don't say moly moly moly. Happiness is something you find when you're not looking for it. There's been a lot of moments where at the time it didn't really jive. At the time it wasn't fulfilling. And then afterwards, it's I'm glad we did that. Or, I'm thankful for dragging me out of the bed this morning. I think if we can get to the point where this is going to be good, hey, this is going to be awesome, hey, I can't wait, that's where happiness will be a lot more in your life, is when you start looking forward to stuff, and you know where you're at, and where you're going. So remember those thankful scenarios, and be sure to voice that. There's been a couple times where my brother and I have done some cool stuff in the last couple days, and at the end of it, we just look at each other like, man, we needed that. Man, that was so awesome. And then I just get filled with happy feeling, and I want that for others. So this is going to be good. Your key to happiness might fit a different lock than mine, and I may rewrite this video 2 years from now. But just know I'm going to be stoked in whatever I'm doing, and I hope you are too.